I believe Alliance, they have a more dive composition. You have CWJ that could be unstoppable force coming in. Camille finding that Xayah at the backline, Hex the ultimatum, locking down Xayah, or at best, lock down that Ziggs. Ezreal, that's where he can jump in, but Ezreal is a single target burst in the sense. It doesn't really does AoE damage, whereas Xayah with the Feather Storm, right, it boils down to the junglers that actually keep our world go round, esports world go round, of course. 100 Plus being the official beverage sponsor for the Icon series, organized by Elephant, the official partner of Riot Games in Singapore, and of course, we've flexed and we've talked about the Secret Lab chest that we're currently blessing our backsides on and our backs on, and it's just so comfortable and delivering, you know, the most demanding of tournaments, because, you know, being a caster ourselves, we got to bring our A game. And, you know, sitting on this Secret Lab chairs, just we'll be able to, you know, so that you don't get distracted by other things, you can focus on the game. And speaking about focusing on the game, we're entering game number 3.
It's going to be very crucial for those junglers to get everything started. Quarterval, he does not want any shenanigans whatsoever. Gets a quick map control with the wards being placed down. And Alliance, they don't put out any themselves. They're just making sure to spot where their opponents are by sheer vision. And what I like about this is they save the wards for a later time going deeper into this game, which would definitely be good because level 1 junglers don't do anything. Level 2 maybe, level 3 for a sure. And this is why you're seeing Alliance kind of save those utilities for a moment, just because they don't want to get ganked later on and they might not have their other ward up when the time comes.
Yeah, and okay, fine, Cote d'Ivoire, when the next time we come over Singapore, I'll give you 100 plus, but there you go, a bit of a trait right there. Barrier will be used by CWJ to keep himself an eye as he consumes that yummy honey fruit. But at the bottom side, it is Impunity, Scarlet Petal, and Rav pushing their lanes a little bit too far for comfort. It's a bit of a replay, but on the other side, for the side of Alliance there, remember, it was Raven and Rich that has the bottom side priority. So Impunity, that Wukong is going to have a bit of a difficult time to engage into Alliance, but maybe that Wukong will be able to rotate towards the mid lane. But eyes on that minimap, by the way, those junglers will mid at that scuttle.
They knew, they just know. And they're still going to try to force something here. Alistar, rather Rich, had to flash away as he was in danger of getting stunned in. Shinsekai still wants to go too deep into the fight, and he might have bit off more than he can chew. He gets devoured by Impunity, and they get that first blood. Shinsekai, too deep, bro, too deep.
Yeah, being forced to burn that flash, but albeit will lose his life for that, and immediately Impunity will be able to trade into that, rotate into that Rift Scuttlecrab, so that's going to push that jungle advantage even further. And remember what we said, Impunity, they're slowly getting that steam. Alliance is their coal that toss in right into their furnace, and they'll be able to hopefully turn it into a win. A bit of a flash action coming in as Ezreal will be able to snipe down Scarlet Petal as well, but at the same time, a bit of scuffle as well as Rav will lose his life. So in terms of the gold lead, Alliance will be able to equalize that with a bit of a dragon lane priority, but at the same time though, jungling, Wild Boar already hits level 5, so he's probably going to look for that Cyclone, probably going to look for that engage.
Cote d'Ivoire, he's had enough. CWJ, they're still in the same matchup here, but Cote d'Ivoire is looking more menacing. They're able to keep eyes on Shinsekai. Look how much wards there is on the river. 3 on the top side, double on the bottom. There is no way for Shinsekai to get a sneaky gank in.
Yeah, there is no such thing as just enough wards.
Yeah. Gotta, I mean, you know what they say? Light.
Gotta light up
Wards,
my world like
vision.
nobody else, right?
True.
Yeah, and it just boils down to, you know, Impunity, they have that vision game, and that's what makes Alliance a little bit hard to engage. If you notice how Shinsekai is very hard for them to engage, because they're probably keeping tabs on exactly where Shinsekai is, and, you know, this amount, the river for Impunity is lit up. If we actually talk about the Fog of War, you can see that river is probably lit up by the side of Impunity, but CWJ once again will be able to take down a bit of a fight happening for Cote d'Ivoire. Grand challenge was issued though, but both sides hesitating just a little bit. So yeah, just more of a, hey, you dare come into me? I'll grand challenge you right now.
If he does, he's going to be in a very, very difficult situation. Alliance is still able to get the 2 kills above Impunity after a bit of time, but there's not really much that big of a difference. In any case, though, as both of the solo laners do recall back into the base, you know that they're going to position themselves to try to contest this dragon, but already Alliance is here to the party. WildBoar does have his ultimate, but they have to be very careful if CWJ is going to be there to set them things up with his ultimate. Unstoppable Force goes in, and they line it all the back out, but Alliance is just too beefy, too good, and they're just going to utilize Raven to deal as much damage as possible. Scarlet Pella is in no man's land, and he's getting hit down by 2 bouncers, Cryo and Rich, and everything has fallen off to the side as Impunity is left with Swirled. He's running for dear life. Rich is trying to set things up, and there it is. The fadeaway jumper, but his bomb connects on the Ezreal. But at the end of the day, Impunity still lose the team fight, though they get the dragon.
Yeah, so Impunity, they trade all this away just to get that Mountain Drake, right? Mountain Drake gives you better defense, gives you a bit of shield, so that's a-okay. But Impunity, they lost a lot. They pushed Alliance gold lead even significantly further, and the only way for Impunity to actually equalize that is to actually, you know, get at least the first turret. And Impunity going in for a lane swap. Both sides actually, in fact, going into a lane swap already. You gotta admit, Raven being able to burst down every single person that actually comes over with a Mystic Shot, Raven's aim is true. And that's something that Impunity has to pay respect to.
Speaking of paying respect, there is none here as WildBoar just goes in ham at Raven. He might have just gone too deep into the fight, but still able to reposition with his team. Both of the junglers now have their Guardian Angel, so they will be able to get that revive going in. But at the end of the day, it's still Alliance to win out this mini skirmish. And that Rift Herald is about to spawn in about 5 seconds, but they have to push out the wave. They have to make something happen. And speaking of things happening, CWJ, very threatening, does have Unstoppable Force if he wanted to dive in onto Coeur d'Ivoire. But immediately the reposition and the retreat for Raven just to bait in Wrath and Scarlet Petal's oppression. Rich is right here.
Yeah, and right now Impunity will be trying to chase down Scarlet, chase it down. Glacier Fisher going in as well as the knockups coming in. The Cyclone as well, driving the backline. This time around, Alliance a bit too low on the HP department, but I think it is the Alliance side that actually picks up that that Rift Herald. But you know what? Impunity going into that team fight could potentially turn that around, but Alliance is actually working some wonders at the bottom side. That Malphite just pushing down, picking up that first turret gold. So unfortunately, well, Impunity, they had the right mindset to go in for the fight, to kind of deny and kind of pressure on top of the Rift Herald. Alliance is, CWJ is making things work by pushing down that bottom side turret and getting that first turret gold lead.
That's something that is at least gonna be okay for Impunity here. They did not get the Rift Herald, but they did get that fight where every single member of Alliance was incredibly low. I think if Alliance had more HP there, they should have been able to win, because the only thing that Alliance really did not get there, they got the position down, they were able to rotate quickly enough in time. In any case, Coeur d'Ivoire is just going to be in a world of hurt here if he's not able to reposition. He's incredibly low, and here comes Raven to finish things off, gets pushed in by the Malphite, or sorry, by the Alistar, and Rich will get obliterated as they are just deep diving into 2 turrets. It doesn't matter for Alliance here as the pressure keeps on rolling. WildBoar, he wants to dive right in, but the disengage for Alliance is going to be true, and while all that was happening simultaneously, CBWJ is whacking on turrets.
Yeah, CWJ is just creating so much space for Alliance, but okay, once again, that's the problem about that I don't really like about Alliance. They're looking at the shop while they're actually backing off. Well, he is gonna lose that life by WildBoar, but it's almost the same thing that happened in game number 2 when, you know, Shin Shekai is actually backing off. You can see the lack of reaction going in. Alliance feeling a bit too comfortable in my opinion, but hey, we'll be able to give away a bit of a kill. Glacier Fisher coming in, but hey, it's just more of a warning shot, I would say.
Maybe fearing the initiate, the ball delivery system there, as both Alistar and Orianna was spotted into mid. Dragon has already spawned, but we don't have a clear advantage just yet. This big dragon, this big objective should really tell us who will tilt the scale for the moment, because it's been a tug of war, a back and forth match. It seems like Impunity will be able to clear out the vision here. Still get spotted by that cone, and I do like the mines. it's just going to stop everybody from coming outside of this entrance.
Yeah, as Impunity initially, they are actually behind in terms of the gold, but with that additional turret advantage as well as that Drake, it's an Ocean Drake. So and a Melted Drake as well being secured by them. Impunity is looking kind of strong, I would say, this time around, but here comes the engage as the Cyclone will be activated, Unbreakable, absorbing as many damage as he can, but Wildball looking very low, GA will be proc, Raven chasing it down with a Mystic Shot at the same time, CWJ will be able to chase down Swirl, but at the same time, Alliance also chasing down Rav, Mystic Shot lands on top of that Braum just to defend, and oh, another snipe coming up from Raven, will be able to snipe down Scarlet Petal as well, so that's going to be a good win for Alliance. Remember what I said, Impunity, they do have that advantage right now, but Alliance will be able to even that out for now.
They're so quick to go on this trigger. CWJ, he's making so much damage, and Coeur d'Ivoire is in the same predicament that he was in that previous game. There's just not much that he can really do in this fight, and he's running for dear life. Look at Riches on side here. They're flashing in. They're really committing to just chasing in Coeur d'Ivoire, and they have every single right to do so because this is two burly champions able to just go into the flimsy Fiora and take it all the way down. I love how he waited to activate that Glacial Fissure, and everything really falling into Alliance's end. Impunity do start things off. It could actually go into their side as Scarlet Petal is able to deal some damage, but as CWJ, the big boy bouncer for Alliance, joins in the fight. It's gonna be so bad. The Wombo combo, the Penta, or the triple boom, so to speak, will allow Alliance here to just deal so much damage. Scarlet Petal is running for dear life, and can Rich chase him into the base? Looks like that's going to be a no, but damage be done, and Baron be started.
Yeah, Baron B started, but don't forget, Shelly is kind of a little bit distracted at the mid side, and that's going to give a little problem for the side Impunity. Very distracted right now. Alliance just doing... just creating so much space, because that Malphite is just split pushing uncontrollably, and Coeur d'Ivoire wasn't able to react and wasn't able to actually take down the big chunky boy, big rocky boy at the same time. So the next point of contest would be around that Cloud Drake perhaps in the next couple of minutes, but Alliance, they have the Baron buff, and they probably will be able to translate that Baron buff into a few more turret lead, and of course with that turret lead they'll be able to exchange it into a better gold lead, and even hopefully an open wide open base of Impunity.
There's still a chance, you know, for Impunity to get back into this one. We're seeing the items that they have. There's one item advantage into each counterpart of Alliance here. They also have the Baron, and look at how ballsy Rich is just going to be there. And immediately activating his Unbreakable, and he can just absorb so much damage. And the big boy bouncer, CWJ, is once here to the side. He doesn't even need to threaten them with his Unstoppable Force. It's just pinches. It's just chip damage that's being used by Alliance, and they go in. It's going to be the final stand for Impunity. If they lose this one, they lose it all. And look at that. CWJ wipes everybody out with the rest of the team, and they're going to finish this off 12 minutes in. Alliance showed to us that they are the dominant team in this series. They're the ones who deserve to go into the grand finals already.
Yeah, that... wow, that was a very... I feel like Alliance, they're losing all that patience, all right? They're like, I'm done. I got steamrolled over by Team Impunity in game number 1. And they're like, game number 3? No, I'm not even giving any chances. I lost 2 Drakes. Don't forget, Alliance lost 2 Drakes. And the longer that Alliance actually...